Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Why Not podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about why do you serve? I'm one of your new hosts, Senior Airman Davies, and I'd like to help introduce our cast of characters for this week. We'll starting from you, sir.
Hello, Tech Sergeant Adrian Suarez. Yeah, I've been here at Minot for 1 year now. This is my second tour. Cool.
Nice.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Airman First Class Zakai Beck. I've been in my knot since October 11th, 2025, so it hasn't been that long, but I'm looking forward to everything here so far.
My name's Sergeant Collar. First name Eric. Been in Minot about going on my 11th year. It's my only base been stationed at, so I've been in the Air Force 11 years, and it's a great base. Enjoy this place.
And it just from that, it seems like a lot of us are kind of more new to the base, except you, sir.
Yeah.
You've been here 11 years. I've been here going on 2 years now, about a year and a half. What is something that you'd say helps you stay here longer? Because some career fields end up staying here for quite a long time.
Well, for me, what makes it really easy is my wife is from the local area, so I have her family here, so it feels like home to me. But for people that come here and stay here for multiple years, 5, 6 years, some other people have been here 10 years. What makes this place great are the more seasoned people like myself that have been in this area a long time, and they can show you um the hidden gems of the area and the community on this base as well. Like, we all know we're in an isolated area, and this is all we've got. So we try and make the best of it. Other bases, you leave work, you have the beach right next to you, and there's other things to distract you. Here we don't have those luxuries. We only have each other, so we just have to learn how to rely on each other and make this place better, and just quote unquote embrace the suck.
Gotcha. And then obviously, next sergeant, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then Master Select you put on in a couple of weeks, correct? Is that what you said?
July 1st. Yep.
So
Soon.
yes,
Yeah.
very soon.
It waited 13 months.
You guys have done multiple contracts. Are you planning on doing 20?
Honestly, for me, it just depends on what my family life looks like. I just hit 17 and a half, and right now it's either I break and I get kicked out, or the Air Force says they've had enough of me. So either one.
Gotcha. And then you, sir, are you planning on doing the one and done, or are you taking it as it goes?
Honestly, I really have no idea. So this Mano is my first duty station out of all the places to be, and it's a really interesting experience. So I signed a 6-year contract, and I'm at the point where it's like I want to see where I'm going to go with these 6 years, what happens after that time. And by the end of that time, I feel like I should, even then a little bit before that, I should probably know the answer to that question. But again, it's probably going to be depending on what's going on with my family and the state of the world at that point. So,
Gotcha. And then you, sir?
Yeah, 100%. Plan on doing the 20, and probably more than 20, just until I don't have the desire to do the job. So if I have the desire, if I have the passion, I want to keep going.
Gotcha. And we'll go around the table. We'll go reverse order this time. What initially drew you to the Air Force or the military in general?
For me, my family is from Ukraine. I'm first generation from Ukraine, and I joined in 2015. I remember watching the news when the first invasion happened, and I still had, you know, so my family still has some roots over there, and I remember watching the people, going through all that stuff. ISIS was at its peak as well, and me coming from a Jewish background, I had there were a lot of bad actors in the world, and I felt like that was my calling, is I had to do something about it. So and I ended up enlisting to the Air Force, and here I am today.
Was the Air Force your first choice, or did you consider other branches as well?
I definitely talked to other branches, but what drew me to the Air Force was the fact that everybody needs air power. So, no matter what's happening on the world, one way or another, the Air Force is involved, and I just want to be as involved as possible.
Gotcha. Then you, sir?
for myself, Getting into the Air Force it was an option that came out of necessity and want at the same time. So me, prior to joining the Air Force, I was in college, but I was at Morehouse College, and I got there after living like a very sheltered home life, not really doing anything besides extracurricular programs. So when I got to college with the freedom I had, I was wilding, I'm not gonna lie, but it wasn't nothing too crazy. But I needed to lock in essentially.
It's
And
college. That's what you do.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like, all right, I don't want to just be sitting at home trying to figure out what the next move is and put myself in any student loan debt or anything like that. And I also had military family. My grandfather, he was in the Air Force, and my great uncle, he was in the Army. So they had been telling me to consider joining, but I always told them, nah, I'm good. But I actually took a serious look at it, and I saw the two branches. I saw the Marines, and I was like, yo, I really love those guys, but they got that. And then the Army was like, there was a lot of jobs, but I have the belief that anywhere that I am, I can, excel, because it's how you put your best foot forward and how you show up every day. So
Absolutely.
I wasn't worried at all about where I was going to go. But I also saw the lifestyle of the Air Force more so. I saw that they took care of their troops, they took care of their people, and that the camaraderie there was just something unmatched. And that was something that I said I wanted to be a part of as well. And I really want to give shout outs to my grandfather for like coaching me and like giving me all the information he had, because he also at the time was military police as I'm a defender. So it just happened to be that way.
And then I'm sorry if you said it and I missed it. What branch of service was your grandfather in?
He was in the Air Force.
Perfect. Go blue.
Nice.
And then you, sir.
Yeah. So, man, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to join the military. That was my life goal. Both of my uncles, they were in the Marine Corps long before probably even before I was born. They both served 4 years, did their time and got out. My brother, who's an older brother, Raymond Suarez, Sergeant Raymond Suarez, he served close to 8 years, did his time in the Marine Corps as well and got out. So initially, when I was going to join, I was going to follow with the family, go to the Marine Corps. And I was literally in the recruiter's office, and my brother just randomly called me and, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm actually going to enlist. He's like, does mom and dad know? I was like, no. He's like, what recruiter are you at? I was like, Marine Corps. He's like, you better leave now. I'm like, oh. He's like, go to the Air Force. It's a much better life. That F-22 poster you've had in your room for years means something. You should go to the Air Force. And I was like, all right. And recruiter's mid talk. I'm like, sorry, sir, I have to go. And just left and went to the Air Force recruiter. And his name was Master Sergeant Murphy. Amazing person. He gave me all the information and was signed up. Yeah.
I'll throw a little bit of myself out in there as well. So I come from a pretty much a family of military members. My great grandparents were, I believe, in the army. Not my great, my grandparents were both my grandpas were in the Navy, and then my father's also in the Navy. He's
Ooh.
retires next year. Very excited.
Congrats.
He's going on 23 years now. He's a Greenside Corpsman. He's a combat medic.
Busy job.
So, oh yeah,
Busy.
he's insane. Um, love my dad, but I grew up he enlisted pretty much right before I was born, and he was deployed out to the Middle East when I was born. But I grew up throughout my life surrounded by the military, surrounded by that culture and the Navy and everything like that, and I always knew this is what I want to be a part of. So when I graduated high school, I started talking to my parents. I said, I want to enlist. I want to be in the military. I want to be like you. And he said, are you thinking about the Navy? And I said, yeah, I want to be a corpsman just like you, Dad. And he said, no. He
Yeah.
said, you are not going to enjoy that one very much. And he suggested the Air Force for both my brother and I.
Mm.
He said that's the way to go. They're going to treat you the best. They're going to have the best lifestyle. And so we talked to an Air Force recruiter, and my brother and I shipped out together, same
Nice.
job. He's public affairs. We went through everything together, and he's up in Alaska now.
Nice.
But I think having that culture around me from the start, I think really helps form that thought of the military is something great, and that's what I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
So it seems like we've got some military family members in here. You with your grandfather and your uncles and your brother. Do you have military family, sir?
Nope, I'm the first one in my family to serve, and still the current one. On my wife's side, um, her brother, my brother-in-law, just retired after I want to say 23 years in the North Dakota National Guard.
Nice.
But that's on her side. On my side, there's nobody.
So, what was the reaction from your family then when you told them that you were going to enlist?
So I was in college, getting my accounting degree. My family, everybody, my brother, my cousins, everybody followed the same path. Do good in high school, go to college, get good grades, and then after college, I got dentists, I got businessmen, I people working in cyber in my family, so people are well off, and I'm the dark horse. I'm the one that said not doing that. And they were apprehensive at first, but I think now, 11 years later, they're understanding that there's other avenues that people can take to be successful in life, and that then the day money isn't everything. It's are you satisfied with your way of life? Are you happy with decisions you made in
Yep.
your life?
Yep.
And I would be able to confidently answer that question. Say yeah, 100%.
And I'd extend that to you, to both of you as well. What was your family's reaction? Was there that pride in knowing that my family member is in the 1%, the people that signed their name and went to serve our country?
I'd say that my family was actually generally really receptive. Um, they understood that, there was more things that I needed to do within my life to really make a difference and, carry on in that path of not just like basically being a bum. I wasn't trying to be a bum, so I was like, things are gonna have to change. And they were really proud, and it was also still a little bit, hesitant. They were a little bit worried though, just because of some of the tensions that were going on, with some of our foreign adversaries. So, but I assured them, I was like, hey, if anything happens, I am the one who signed up, for this right here. And within my job field, like, whatever happens is gonna happen. So they were pretty nice. And yeah, I joined during a relative peacetime, I should say, pretty much peacetime compared to when you had joined. So things were like significantly different. So
Have you been home on leave yet?
not since I've been here, no.
Just wait till go home and leave. The first time everybody goes home and leave after they've joined, your family, everybody, your friends notice just how much you've changed.
Yep.
So just
Yep.
be mindful of that when you go
Absolutely.
home.
Yep.
And then
Everything.
they'll be even more happy that you joined.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, because it's in everything after you go through basic training and your tech school. Um, Even the way you walk is different. Like I've
Yeah.
had people, I went back home during tech school, and saw some of my friends I was lifeguards with, and they're like, "Yeah, you walk weird now. What's with all that?"
Yeah.
But it's just the like subconscious, like you're almost marching still. You've just got that discipline built into you now. That just kind of carries with you wherever you go, after you have enlisted.
Yeah.
And then, um, I'd like to ask, this might be a little bit of a tough one. And take your time to think about it. But if you could sum up your motivation for enlisting and staying enlisted in one sentence, what would you say your motivation is?
I would say mine is most definitely driven for a greater purpose.
Greater purpose. Greater purpose in what way?
So I'll say, like, even since the day I joined, um, February 24th, 2009, a while ago, so much has changed from now till then. One, kind of understanding what actual good supervisor can do for you
Mm,
is monumental, to the point where I had years of no decent supervision up until I was like at year 8, and everything changed. Um, Understanding how even something as little as one sentence from someone who matters to you can change your whole life, right? Like there was a saying I heard that, um, something you say to someone can rattle in their brains for eternity. right? Something along those lines. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But after the years of serving with, in my position, supervising, crazy to say, hundreds of troops, um, and being able to be where I am now and seeing how they're progressing, it's monumental. There's a greater purpose because even how we EPB talk, being a force multiplier,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
I can motivate one troop, that troop can motivate 10, and it's just ever revolving. So I would say it's most definitely a greater purpose, and even for me is the way I lead and the way I do business is most definitely driven by my faith as well.
Okay. And Aaron Beck.
I'd say what motivates me and what keeps me motivated to stay enlisted, even though so I've only been in the Air Force for a year now. Like April 15th marks a year for me in the Air Force. Um, it'd have to be just knowing that I've already come so far, like knowing that I have younger siblings and they're watching me. I'm the oldest of four. So there are eyes on me at all times. There are people that I've grown up with, people who are younger than me who are watching, and I want to show them that, hey, this is another path you can take. You know, like there are a lot of barriers and challenges in the world for people who are considered minorities. So I want to show them that, hey, you can do this job, you can come here, you can be successful, and you can change not only the world, because of course you want to leave the world a better place than you left it, but on those small day-to-day interactions that you're having with others around you. Like if you were to join the Air Force, how could you make the Air Force better? How could you make your home life better?
Mm.
So I'm here and I'm just like, what can I do to make the job easier for the people who've already been here and for those who are coming in, to maybe allow them to stay longer if that's their desire, or that if anyone decides to get out, that, hey, at least while they were within my presence, that they feel like they gained something to be better in or out of the service. So
That
Yeah.
lead by example, like pay it forward.
Yep.
It's a good one. And then you, sir?
Um, there's two things that keep me motivated. One, I like I love my job. B-52 takes off, it's taking off for a purpose, especially when we're downrange, and we make the news on that. But what really keeps me going every single day is mentoring airmen and watching that light bulb go off in their head
Yep.
when they're going through some stuff or they're unsure of themselves, and you just sit there and mentor them, build them up, and then it just almost instantaneously, everything starts clicking for them. They're going, and then you just watch their career just take off, and it's just that's that makes my day. I had to sit down and talk to some airmen this week. They're going through some stuff, and after just a quick 30-minute talk with one of them, it just felt like they came in the room one way, left the room a lot more confident in themselves, a lot more sure of themselves, and all it was a 30-minute conversation, just going over a lot of the stuff that was brewing in their head. They needed to voice it. We talked about it, and I think a lot of their insecurities and whatnot just went away. And did that with a few airmen this week. I mean, I do it all. It's my job now to do that with airmen staffs, tech sergeants. But that's what keeps me going. Is just the people. That's what we got. They're our most important resource. And I just I love helping people as much as I love fixing aircraft. Aircraft, it's mechanical. It is or it isn't. With people, it's all different ball game, and it's a great challenge.
Mm.
Gotcha. And then I'll throw myself in there again. From since I grew up around that culture, it was always a given for me that I would be joining the military, and I think my reasoning has changed. I've only been in for about two and some change years, but my reasoning has already fluctuated and changed. I originally joined because I saw what it did for my family. It's a stable job. It puts the meals on the table. It takes care of your family, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to set myself up for when I have a family of my own. But now that I have enlisted and I've gone through basic training and tech school and the OJT and being stationed here, I've realized it's not only about that. It's about my brothers and sisters in arms in the services and supporting them and in serving our country and just trying to make a difference a little bit, just as much as I can. I know I'm a senior airman in public affairs, but how many senior airmen are there? There's so many. Every single one does just a little bit of something and gets that ball rolling, and it gets things changing, and it gets things better for everyone else. So I think that's kind of my motivation going forward, is just to keep pushing that ball forward, keep deterring our adversaries, and ensuring peace on our home front.
So I want to elaborate on one thing you said, right? And it's just something that was taught to me years ago based off what you just said, right? So you said that I'm just a senior airman, okay?
I picked up on that too. I was going to say something about that as well.
Right. So something that was taught to me years ago, and it's been impactful throughout my entire career, is many people can wear the stripe, right?
Mhm.
Many people don't. But what I was taught is that you individually are the one that adds the weight, right? You're the one that gives it purpose, right? So when a lot of people say I'm just a senior airman, I'm like, you can be a lot more, right? Um, your life experiences, your goals, every senior airman is very different. And being downrange, there's some senior airmen I'd rather take with me than some, techs, seniors, and masters. So I just want to let you know that.
Yes, sir.
To add on top of that, I view senior airmen as future NCOs. That's essentially what a senior airman is, a future NCO. And back in the day, senior airmen were buck sergeants, So
Ran things. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So definitely you can view I'm just a senior airman, but that's just selling yourself short. You're a future NCO. So that's the best time to start getting ready to be an NCO is a senior airman, because it's when you're allowed to make those mistakes. Whereas as an NCO, you're held to a much higher standard. So um can do a lot. My section's almost all senior airmen, and I have to treat a lot of my senior airmen as staff sergeants, and they're stepping up, So that's you're hosting a podcast right now as a senior airman, So you're already filling those shoes.
it's true.
Don't sell yourself short.
That's
Yes,
very,
sir.
very true.
I thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I guess I am pretty cool. I guess
Yeah.
I guess I am
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
I'm
Oh,
kind of
you are.
Um, oh,
100%.
I want to redirect. Airman Beck. Um, you're A1C, right?
Yes,
So when
sir.
you'll probably put on senior airman what, next year, something like that.
Yes.
Are you looking forward to, because you're talking about uh, leaving things better than where you found them? Are you looking forward to senior airmen to, I guess, continue that and put it on a larger scale?
Mm,
Yes, definitely. As I said before, I have full faith in my capabilities. And it's not even just because of it's the things that I've done, it's the people who's helped me get here. So I know that when I give others experiences, when I help out someone who's going to be coming to this base, or anybody who's like airman or airman basic or A1C at the time that I'm a senior airman, I know that I'm not just giving them my experiences, I'm giving them those lessons that were told to me by others. So there's so many generations that are speaking through me at once. Even now, like every conversation that I have, listening to you guys and every person that I meet, I'm taking that information and I'm internalizing it because it's gonna help me help someone else. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Cool little rank, new little stripe. So it's gonna be great, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
it's fun. Those are the good days.
Best rank is senior airman.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can do all the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It's that E4 Mafia.
Yeah, that's why it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
What need in your life did your service fulfill? Was it the need for discipline or the order, something like that?
Ooh. Okay. This is a good one. All of it. Everything. When I joined, um, first of all, I love my parents. Is not talk down on them, but both my parents came from nothing. So with them raising three kids, they worked all the time, right? So I was somewhat raised by my older sister, and my brother was a bully, but that's what big brothers do. He's supposed to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tough skin.
You need that.
That's part
Um,
of the job description, yeah.
yeah. So like coming in and even like through middle school, high school, I was pretty crazy. We'll say that's the word I'm going to use, for government podcasts. Um, but joining I'd be lying to say if I didn't get in trouble. I got briefed, I got paperwork, I've been through it all, and it's just because I needed that type of feedback, and I wasn't getting it in the outside world. So joining and going through all these years of, the grind, failing, fixing, repeating, has taught me so much, and it's something I most definitely need in my life. And now I'm a father, and I have a wonderful wife, and it's even helping me at home. Especially when my cat and she starts knocking plants down. I'm like, all right, don't burn the house down. We're okay. It's not that big a deal. But I will say most definitely the discipline and the order has been the biggest thing. With our job, especially security forces, it can go from absolutely nothing to complete chaos, and just having to like, oh, okay, this is what we do. Let's get it done and let's have fun while we do. Like, roger that. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Even if it comes to arresting people who want to fight drunk, I'm like, should I watch? Should I record this? Like, no,
World star.
yeah, let's handle business. Like, roger that. Cool.
Guys to lock in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think for me, I have a very similar answer. It was also everything for me. Like as I mentioned before, I went to college, and at that point I failed. I had never failed at anything. Well, I failed in life at certain things, but usually like through high school, through schooling, a lot of that stuff was pretty easy because it was systematic. And after I hit my first failure, like major failure, that's something that really was like, man, like it really tore at me. And I was like, okay, am I gonna sulk in this, or am I gonna do something and be greater? And I joined the Air Force. That discipline really started to come through because I honestly liked it. Like I love my parents; they've done an amazing job, and at raising me, and continuing to raise my siblings. But I was like, I need to, honor that and do something just a little bit different. And yeah, they gave me discipline, but there were certain things that I still just lacked because I was doing my own thing. So coming there, having to do the timelines, doing hospital corners, my goodness.
Oh, hospital corner.
Yes, yes, stripping the beds, MTI strip. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to do this. But that repetition to where it just becomes not only something that you're forced to do, where it becomes a standard, where you're just doing it. That was something that I really enjoyed having. And then I really wanted to travel, and I've already been able to, North Dakota wasn't on the list, but it's honestly not a bad sight, to be honest. Like I was able to, see new places, and then even then being able to, travel because I can take leave and stuff like that. So the camaraderie, having, friends with different experiences, because I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and it's slightly diverse, but there are more African Americans there. So being able to be in a place where people come from across the world, that's cool. Like you got people who are from overseas, you got people who are from states that you don't know nothing about. Like people say, yeah, I'm from Nebraska. I'm like, yo, what's going on out there?
Off at
So,
Air Force Base. Yeah.
like
That's a
Nice.
good
it's
one.
amazing
Yeah.
to be able to have those experiences that, I probably wouldn't have had if I didn't join. And,
Yeah.
I think it definitely fulfills me. So,
Man, so excited for how much you have coming.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Not in a
only,
bad way.
yeah,
Like,
it's only been a year. I'm like looking down the line. I'm like, dang, like what else? Because I heard people who like sign 6-year contracts, they usually be like, oh yeah, I'm only gonna do this, and those usually be the ones who end up staying. So
That was
dude,
literally me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you have like, especially in security forces, at being very young in the career field, you're gonna have so many opportunities. I'd advise just take all of them, right? All the different missions and certifications you can get, you'll travel so much. So I did it a little late in my career, so I'm fortunately past that point. Man, you're gonna see half the world if you take the right opportunities. I promise.
too easy.
For you, sir, what was what need did the military fulfill?
Um, I was also pretty wild in my college days. So
I mean, who isn't?
yeah, it's college,
College. It's college.
So I got a lot of my did a lot of my growing up before I joined,
Mm.
learned my life lessons. Nothing egregious, nothing terrible, just maybe I'll skip the 8 a.m. class, every once in a while. Multiple times a week for a couple weeks, but that's not the point. But what the Air Force gave me is the need that it filled. Biggest thing. College days, played soccer for the college team. It was only D3, but I had that community, And when I couldn't play soccer anymore through my own bad decisions, my mistakes, I lost my community. Um, and the biggest thing the Air Force gave me, and why I still keep reenlisting after, you know, all these, like, I have my master's degree and I'm still reenlisting.
Mm.
I'm staying enlisted, because of the community. Because the enlisted community, we're we're a really tight knit family, for like a better term. I had to pause for a second, try and think of a good term for it. But we're all a family. We all know that what senior airmen do. We all know what staffs, NCOs, or masters do. What we all know what every rank does, and everybody pretty much goes through the same experience in different ways. So we're all understanding. A senior airman is going to make the same senior airman mistakes. Staff's going to make the same staff mistakes. A young master is going to make young master mistakes. And we're all there for each other, just building each other up all the time. That's probably the biggest thing that the Air Force has given me, is that sense of community. And no matter what, you've got somebody to go to with all your problems, and you're not going to find that too often in the civilian side. Civilian side, for most people, it's just a job.
Mm.
But here in the military, you can't view it as just a job. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a commitment. Yeah.
Yeah. What other place are you gonna? You can't hire somebody for $50 an hour to stand in front of a jet as a sentry during an exercise. Just stand there for 12 hours and don't let anybody through this area unless the SVA tells you you're good.
You see the world differently, honestly, being in the military. Like when you say
Yeah.
lifestyle is like it's one of those things where you move differently. Like the military has its own culture. And then the Air Force has its own culture, not to mention every job in the Air Force, like defender culture from avionics culture, like it's so different. So
Different language.
yeah,
Completely different languages.
Completely
All
different.
so
the
many
Yeah.
the
abbreviations,
jargon and the
Yeah.
acronyms.
so
Yeah.
many letters.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like civilian world, somebody mess up multiple times, you fire them.
Mhm.
Here, you got to shoot the troop that shows up late multiple times a week. You know, you can do the LOC route, but you can sit there and talk to them, what's going on, this and
Yeah.
that, and you actually get invested in your people. And I think if I didn't have that sense of community, I would not be where I'm at today.
Mm.
This fast, this early. So definitely took advantage of the community the Air Force brings you.
And this question's pretty much already been answered by everyone's responses so far, but um, what do you think matters the most in your service? It seems like the resounding answer has been the mentorship and the community. Um, but I wanna hear your answers. What do you think in your service matters the most to you?
Hmm.
Say the people
Yeah.
through mentorship, the
Yeah.
community.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, so even, man, I think it was, I heard it's my last base. People first, mission always. Right. How we talk to our people, how we work with our peers, our subordinates, all the above, matters. Seeing multiple sections and kind of like, okay, how's a supervisor lead that team compared to another team? The communication is different. You go into an office, nobody talks to each other. You go into the other office, they're talking about life, and they all went to a barbecue the other day.
Mhm.
Like, okay, like it just kind of, you see the difference in communication. Mentorship's huge,
Mhm.
right? And it's something that, I'm sure we've learned is even E5s and E6, we're the backbone of the Air Force. We have the most influence, right? How we move the team, how we guide them. It's huge. Yeah, I'm 100% people and mentorship for sure.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. It's gonna have to be those conversations that maybe happen behind closed doors as well. Like maybe when you're off duty and like you're talking to another airman, it's like, hey, what's going on? Like, people are always facing battles. They're facing things that a lot of times they don't speak about. Like a lot of times this is people's first time being away from home,
Mm-hmm.
being away from the people that they're used to seeing for this long. And like I knew it was like that in basic for some people, but I had an airman who was just telling me about like him and his father and how like wasn't able to see him how he wanted to see him, and just being there and sometimes like not even speaking, just listen, having an open ear for this person. So like how you show up for others, just genuinely wanting to do it versus doing it for like maybe some type of reward, or thinking, oh, they're gonna do this for me. Like that's not what the Air Force is about. So, I know that if it wasn't for that, if I didn't have mentors that I had, outside of the Air Force, and then when I went to tech school and having my MTLs and my cadre, who really helped solidify that discipline, but also they cracked jokes. They were human with me, first before anything, and that I can truly appreciate, because I got to see how they integrated being themselves into the job, and they didn't let the rank take over. They showed up, and in turn that made a lot of us better airmen. Like, we had a term by there was it was Staff Sergeant Belinge, and he said, "Who's gonna win?" And we always chant us, But it's kind of like United States, but also like us at the same time, because it's us who's gonna win. We're the reason that the United States is able to stay, within the position that it's in, stay victorious, is because it's us who's gonna win, because we do this job showing up every day for each other. So
Mm.
it's us, not just me.
Yeah, no I in team,
Mm-hmm.
And I wanna ask, um, now that everyone has enlisted, what is some advice that you would give perhaps to someone who just joined, or maybe someone who's thinking about joining? Um, what's some advice you would give them? The keep going. Like, this is going to be good for you. It will help you build yourself to be who you want to be. I think that'd be my advice: is absolutely go for it. Do 4 years, at least. Sign your contract, do it. I think it's a very valuable experience, and if it's not for you, 4 years is, in the grand scheme of things, not that long, and then you can get out and you have that experience to help further who you want to be in life. But definitely try.
Hmm.
But I'd like to hear some advice that you have, especially from some tenured some tenured airmen here.
I would say for those that just joined, just find your peace. I tell a lot of my airmen, just find that peace in yourself, because when you first joined, your mind's spinning 1,000 miles an hour. You're in a new environment. You got that culture shock going on. Find that peace in yourself, and that you've done the hard part. You put your hand up. You went through basic. You went through tech school. You're at your new base. You got OJT. You got all kinds of stuff being thrown at you. Just take a moment, absorb the situation, find your peace, and then build that confidence in yourself, and don't feel overwhelmed. Feel like you can do it. Start believing in yourself, and that's pretty much it. If you don't believe in yourself, then that's that's not the. Well, I lost my train of thought on that. Try and find like the right way to say it on a podcast. Um, if you know what I'm trying to say about like finding your peace. It's like, if you don't believe in yourself,
Your purpose?
your purpose, you're selling yourself short of who you are, and you're not as valuable to the team as you are if you believe in yourself. A lot of new people, they're the best resource because a fresh set of eyes.
Mhm.
Me and you, we have our established ways.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
nice to get new guys to come in there, learn from us, but then also take what we taught them and try and build up on it. So a lot of these newer people think that, oh, I'm new, I provide nothing. Provide quite a bit, actually. You're keeping us in check, making sure we don't develop bad habits, and just open up new doors for everybody else, and especially newer people. You guys are, you guys are, um, again, I'm maintenance. I'm trying not to be maintenance. Um, you guys are in your own little community when you're brand new. Like the person that took me to a lot of my appointments when I first got here after my initial appointments was another 3 level who's been on base for 4 months. You newer people, you guys are talking to each other, and if you guys start saying this base is awful, I hate my job,
It's gonna spread.
well, we start building the toxicity early on, and now we have to spend years telling you it's not. And
Yeah.
who are you gonna trust? That 3 level you're with, or are you gonna trust the NCO that you're not around all the time, that's hidden off in some office somewhere, or that's busy doing something else, or they just sit in meetings all day? You're gonna trust the guy you're around.
He's saying it's propaganda. He's
It's
trying
propaganda.
to get
Yeah, he's bleeding blue.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, that's pretty much pretty much it. It's just find that peace, find that confidence in yourself, and believe in yourself. I believe in my airmen 100%. If I didn't believe in them, then that's a failure on my end, you know.
Mhm.
So 100% believe in them. So they at least know they have one person that believes in them, and I like to think that they do believe in themselves because proud of what they've done. You know, we got maintainers out there fixing a jet from the 60s. It's a B-52, but our models are from 60 and 61, and it's still flying. You know,
Yeah.
and snow, rain, doesn't matter. Negative 50, negative 40, you know, they'll go out there and they'll fix it. We got cops, GT, you know, no notices. They'll go out there, stand sentry. Even when the base is shut down for whatever reason, holiday break, you still have people at the gate, you know. So
Mm.
they got to find that peace, understand that everybody is valuable. Everybody does something important, you know.
Mm. Um, so I actually just had a conversation. My nephew, he just graduated high school,
Mm.
and I just came back from Florida for his graduation, and he told me that he wants to join the Air Force. Um, so a part of me was kind of excited, but kind of scared, right? The reason I say that is because for for me when I joined, I was like, I'm not going to war. It's the Air Force. We don't go to war. 6 months after I get to my base, I'm in Iraq. You know,
Mm.
so kind of understanding that that's something that could happen to him and wherever the world's going. So what I told him is, if this is what you want to pursue, full send it. Like take every opportunity. You know, seek continuous feedback because you're going to mess up. You're going to mess up more than you probably ever have in your entire life, and you're going to think your life's over. Things will recover. Things get better. You know, and another thing, actually, just I've known for a few years, and I read in a recent book, Carnivore Leadership. Put a plug out there. Uh, Chief CZ, his very first silver bullet is, if you want to fly with the eagles, don't hang around the turkeys. Right.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
He's spitting.
Right. And that's what I told him, was like, you be careful who you hang out with, because even if you don't do what they do,
The
you may get,
association.
yeah, you may get caught up. Have fun wherever you go, wherever job you choose. He said security forces. I was like, no. But it's, if that's what he wants to pursue, it is what it is. And find a good support, right? I told him I'll always be available, always. He knows that he can call me any day because I barely sleep. I have an 8-month-old baby.
Yeah.
Um, but to find support, get out of your dorm, get out of your house, go do something, find a new hobby, explore the world, or explore the plains of Minot. Exactly how you said, find your purpose. Don't be afraid to fail, seek continuous feedback, and explore as much as you can. Because the more we sit in our rooms, in our dorms, and completely disconnect, the harder it gets, for sure.
Yeah, I'll say, as great as gaming is, you know, I think Discord wasn't as popular as it is now when I was in the dorms. We hung out more, I think. As great as it is, I think it's important for some of the younger airmen, get out your dorm room and actually physically hang out with your buddies. Don't just hop in your Discord, play Call of Duty, Battlefield, or whatever you guys play now.
Mm.
I don't play a little bit of Battlefield, not so much anymore, but whatever game people play, Diablo, that's my game. So
Nice.
meet up in person and actually go hang out, watch some football or something, you know, utilize those dorms. Those dorms are nice. My dorm got refurnished and it's no longer the same. Actually, it's much, much more improved. Doesn't look it's fresh from the 60s.
Yeah. Nice.
I mean, I haven't been in as long, but I will say like some pretty standard advice that I would give is, firstly, everything happens for a reason. So, whatever reasons lead somebody to join, those things happen so that this path, that if you decide to take it, those experiences were made for you to have an easier time on this path, so you can learn from that. And of course, birds of a feather, you know what they say. So again, it's funny you talked about the eagle and the turkey. That's a bar. It's a bar right there. But yeah, like just watch who you're around because me personally, I've seen a lot of people get caught up, and I haven't even been here that long, just for things that could have been avoided had they just done what they knew. Because a lot of time, 9 times out of 10, actually 10 times out of 10, you know better. So if you're gonna make this choice, understand that you have a career, and there are things that all it takes is one time for things to go aki. But Yeah, and again, go out with your peoples. Like I recently just went to Lake Darling,
Nice.
and it was nice. Like dip my toes in the water. I don't know if we supposed to do that. But I'm gonna just say,
I
hey,
wouldn't.
no, hey, but
I would not
no,
like Darling.
yo, yeah. It was weird, but it was great. It was nighttime, like the moon was shining, and I was with the boys, and I was just like, man, this is really what it's all about. Like getting some fresh air. Like this is an experience that I honestly haven't had before. Like there's so much nature out here, so if you can get out for surely, definitely do that. Travel, like let your leadership know. And then, go to Canada or something like that, like, do it within the realms that you're supposed to. Like, I've visited Winnipeg since I've been here. It was honestly very amazing. It was,
Nice. Yeah.
it was a great time.
Good shopping.
And yeah, it was great. And everyone was so accommodating. And I was like, man, like had I not been in the Air Force, like I would not be here right now. Like I wouldn't even think to be here. So,
Yeah.
or thought to be here. But yeah, that's it for me.
And we've covered pretty much every topic here. Is there anything that any of you would explicitly like to say about why you serve, why you enlisted, why you continue to serve?
Hmm. I think the main reason that I'm still here, one could say family, money. Those are all just. It sounds crazy, but those are things that can disappear in an instant. Um, but I will say for what we do and how we do things, it's we're in the history books already. You
Hmm.
know, that's something a lot of people can't say. I used to before I joined, I used to work at McDonald's and Wendy's.
Same. I
What
did
was
both.
I was in the history books for what?
Yeah.
Helping people gain weight,
Before.
right? Right. Their food was pretty good at that time. I don't go much now, but um, I'd say just the reason I serve is because I wanted to make a difference. And even in the first year of joining, I can say I made that difference. And ever since then, it's just been constant. Just been constant. Meeting new people, seeing, traveling, engaging with other cultures, other militaries, other um, just it feels like worlds. And I continue to do that just because I feel that I'm still needed, right? I still have a purpose in what we do day in and day out, right? And I love my job. And being in as long as I have, I initially thought I was going to cross train shortly after joining, but I just met the right people, and I was like, you know what? I think security forces is it forever. Um, until I started doing first sergeant duties, and I think that may be the next path. But we'll see how time goes. But yeah, I think it's just the biggest thing I believe is every little thing we do is impactful. The longer you stay in, the more you see it, the more I can say one thing to somebody and years later, I'm like, wow, they're saying the same thing and more to other people around the world. So I have many troops that are master sergeants and senior master sergeants now. And some people may be discouraged by that, but I'm nothing but joyful. I'm very, very proud. Cool.
I'd say just you don't want to waste your potential. I think like potential is such an important thing. There's so many things that we're capable of, and all it takes is the right environment to really bring that out. I knew for me personally, I didn't want to just let everything that I had inside of me just like falter and be another case of what if, or I should have, or I could have done this. And I'd say that for anyone, any other airman or any airman who's even already in, like, don't see opportunities and say, oh, oh, that's above my station, or that's a little bit too much effort. I'm just gonna be comfortable and do this job because I know how to do it. Do the things that you might possibly fail at so you can learn, how to be better. Or, you can have that experience and be like, okay, I didn't do well at this point, but let me apply these things, let me try something different. And I think that's just another thing that just keeps me going, knowing that, hey, I have potential to do great things, and then I have others after me who are dependent on me to do great things. So
Hmm.
that's how it is for me.
I think we've kind of said it all. Do you have anything that you'd explicitly like to say to add on?
Um, for why you serve, don't forget. For why you serve, don't forget why you served, why you joined originally, and as you progress in your career, your why may change, but don't forget your whys before they change. So keep track of why, because obviously somebody might have joined for one reason, all of a sudden they got a family, like now they got to pay bills. But try and dig deeper than that, because there's other ways you can pay bills, other ways you can raise your family. But just keep in mind of why you're staying in specifically this job that demands so much from us every single day. Um,
Hmm.
and the last piece that this is my own personal motto is we can lead with our rank, but it's also important to lead with your name, because when we all get out, because the Air Force isn't forever.
Yeah.
It's our leadership style that we develop that's going to translate to the outside world. So you can lead as a NCO, senior NCO, but in the outside world, you're not a senior NCO. You're not an NCO. The rank structure doesn't exist. It's who you are as a person that's going to carry you forward. So I like to tell the people around me that your name carries a lot of weight, and lead with that name first. You know, respect the rank. I'm not saying don't respect the rank. Respect the rank, but lead with your name, and don't make decisions that you personally want to do.
Cool. One thing I want to add, and the name, right? That's a huge thing. And if I'm allowed, can I do a quick call out to 3 people?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So throughout my career, right? Again, at my 8-year mark is when I had that major turnaround. There's 3 people that really were super impactful in my life, in my career, we'll say. Um, First one was my brother. Through all the hard times, going to Iraq and mortared and rocketed daily, and just like, it's okay, this is my life now. He was very supportive. He added a little bullying into it, but it helped me be who I am today, right? So Raymond Suarez, I appreciate you. Next, 2 individuals that are now chiefs, Chief Berger and Chief Norwood. I believe Chief Berger is currently at Mountain Home, if I'm correct, and Chief Norwood is currently at Camp Guernsey. But both of them have been huge impactful in my career. Constant feedback, letting me know immediately when I failed and how I needed to improve, not only in my personal but my professional life. And without those 3 people, honestly, I'd probably be a civilian right now. So just want to say that. Thank you. Cool.
Well, that's all the time we've got for today. Thank you for joining us on the Why Not podcast. I think we had a wonderful conversation, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone who joined today. We had a great conversation. I received a lot of insight, and I hope everyone else had a good time as well. But thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time.